Future and Drake are one of the biggest rappers of this generation. They've been in the rap industry for years and they've accumulated such a large following. When these two collaborated on Life is Good, I just had a feeling that these two were going to keep rising. It seemed as if their prime never ended. Some rappers who've been in the game for so long never tend to last as long as these two, but they did. When they collaborated on the album What a Time to Be Alive in 2015, it was such a dream. I can't lie, the album wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad either. It was good to listen to two great artists at the same time. But the relationship between these two didn't last forever. They were no longer best friends and the chemistry fell apart. So how did that happen? What led to that moment? So in this video, I'm going to go through everything you need to know. Drake and Future were once one of the greatest dynamic duos in the rap world, a partnership that seemed as if it were never going to break. Their early collaborations were a breath of fresh air in the hip-hop community, blending Drake's melodic and introspective style with Future's gritty and beautiful trap sound. It was a match that not only resonated with fans, but also shaped the musical landscape of the 2010s. However, like many relationships in the fast-paced world of fame, theirs was not immune to the pressures that came with success, ambition, and ego especially. Over the time, the bond that once was unbreakable began to fracture, leading to a fallout that would lead to a noticeable void in the hip-hop community. The story of Drake and Future's relationship began in the early 2010s, when Future was just starting out to make a name for himself in the Atlanta rap scene. Future's breakout moment came with his 2011 single, Tony Montana, a track that quickly caught the attention of both fans and fellow artists alike. Drake, who was already an established figure in the rap game, saw the potential of Future's music and reached out to collaborate on the remix of Tony Montana. This collaboration marked the beginning of their friendship, with Drake offering Future a significant co-sign that would help him propel him into the mainstream. Drake and Future's early relationship was built on mutual respect and a shared understanding of each other's artistic vision. They both represented different aspects of the rap genre, yet their styles complemented each other's in ways that neither had experienced with other collaborators. Drake's ability to blend rap with R&B, along with his catchy hooks, paired well with Future's unique voice and futuristic approach to trap music. Over the next few years, they continued to work together, with Drake featuring on Future's track For Real, and Future returning the favour by appearing on Lil Wayne's song Love Me. Their growing relationship and collaborative energy came in 2015 with the release of their joint mixtape, What a Time to Be Alive. The project was recorded back in Atlanta, where the two artists locked themselves in the studio and created out an entire project. The mixtape was a celebration of their success, a reflection of their shared experiences at the top of the rap game, with tracks like Jumpman, Big Rings, and Digital Dash. What a Time to Be Alive became an instant hit, debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. The mixtape was not only a commercial success, but also a cultural moment, symbolizing the peak of their partnership and the influence it had on the music industry. Despite the success of What a Time to Be Alive, there were tiny signs that all was not well behind the scenes. While the mixtape was a hit for fans, there were rumors that the project had been rushed and that the two artists were not entirely on the same page during its creation. Some industry insiders suggest that Future felt overshadowed by Drake's star power, and that the project was more of a business move than a genuine artistic collaboration. These rumors were fueled by the fact that shortly after the mixtape's release, Future made comments in interviews that hinted at some underlying tension. In one notable interview, Future mentioned that he could have made What a Time to Be Alive on his own, a statement that was widely interpreted as a jab to Drake. While Future didn't explicitly criticize Drake, the implication was clear. He believed that his contributions to the mixtape were undervalued, and that he didn't need Drake to make a successful project. This comment didn't sit well with Drake at all, who has always been sensitive to criticism, particularly when it comes from someone he considers a friend. The tension between them two began to get bigger and bigger, with both artists avoiding any public acknowledgement of a rift, but the writing was on the wall. As the months went by, the distance between Drake and Future just kept growing. They were no longer seen together as often, and their once frequent collaborations began to dry up. Meanwhile, Metro Boomin, who was a young producer who had played a significant role in crafting the sound of What a Time to Be Alive, found himself caught up in the middle of the brewing tension. Metro Boomin had developed a close working relationship with Future, having produced many of his new hits, including tracks on the DS2 album. As Future and Metro continued to collaborate, with Metro even co-executive producing Future's follow-up albums, it became clear that Metro was more closely aligned with Future, both musically and personally. Metro Boomin's loyalty to Future was evident in their continued success together. They collaborated on Future's self-titled album Future and the follow-up album Hendrix, both released in 2017. These projects showcase Future's versatility, with Metro Boomin's production putting the cherry on top of the cake. The duo's chemistry was undeniable, and their work together cemented Future's status as one of the most influential artists of this generation. While Metro continued to work with other artists, including Drake on occasion, it was clear that his partnership with Future was his top priority. The tension between Drake and Future reached a boiling point in 2017 when a leaked track surfaced online, allegedly featuring Future taking shots at Drake. The track, which was never officially released, released contained lyrics that may interpreted as direct disses aimed at Drake. Future rapped about fake friends and betrayal, themes that seemed to resonate with the rumored issues between the two artists. While Future never confirmed that the song was about Drake, the timing and the context made it hard to believe otherwise. Drake, known for his quick responses to hatred, reportedly took this as the final straw and decided to sever ties with Future completely. Following the leak, the fallout between Drake and Future became more apparent. The two artists who had been once inseparable were now moving into completely different circles. They no longer mentioned each other in interviews, and there was a notable absence of any new collaborations between them. Drake continued to dominate charts with hits like God's Plan, Nice for What, and In My Feelings, while Future focused on his own solo projects and collaborations with other artists. Both artists were still at the top of their game though, but that friendship never remained. Despite their falling out, both Drake and Future have maintained a level of professionalism when it came to public personas. Neither have directly addressed the feud in interviews or on social media, preferring to let the music and actions speak for themselves. However, there have been subtle hints that the relationship might be beyond repair. For instance, when Drake announced his Scorpion album in 2018, there was a speculation that Future might make an appearance, given their history. However, when the album was released, Future was absent, leading fans to believe that the rift between them was very much alive. On the other hand, Metro Boomin's relationship with Future continued to flourish. In 2018, they teamed up once again for the album Not All Heroes Wear Capes, which featured several tracks from Future. The album was another success, further solidifying Metro Boomin's reputation as one of the greatest upcoming producers in the industry and reinforcing his close bond with Future. While Metro Boomin has always been careful to avoid taking sides publicly, he continued to work with Future and has made it clear where his loyalties lie. In the years following their fallout, both Drake and Future have focused on their respective careers, achieving continued success as solo artists. Drake's 2018 album Scorpion was also a commercial success, breaking streaming records and solidifying his place as one of the most successful artists of all time. Future, on the other hand, continued to push the boundaries of trap music, releasing projects like The Wizard and High of Life, which received praise from their innovation and emotional depth. Despite their personal differences, both artists managed to stay at the forefront of the music industry, each carving out their own legacy. But it didn't seem as if the relationship between Drake and Future was over just yet, because Metro and Future dropped the collab album We Don't Trust You. The album We Don't Trust You by Metro Boomin and Future was a significant moment in hip-hop, marked with its sharp lyrics and heavy beats, which left fans and critics buzzing. While the album was packed with powerful tracks, it also sparked a lot of talk because many people believed that some of the lyrics were aimed at none other than Drake. The title itself, We Don't Trust You, felt like a bold statement, and it set the tone for what seemed to be a message of betrayal and distrust. Metro Boomin and Future had always been close, working together on some of the biggest hits in rap. However, the fallout between Drake and Future, which had been brewing for quite a while, seemed to spill over this project, with Metro standing right beside Future's side. The supposed disses on the album were subtle but pointed. They didn't call out Drake by name, but the references were hard to ignore. In several tracks, Future rapped about fake friends, people who only stick around when it's convenient, and those who change once they reach the top. These themes echoed the rumors that had been swirling around about the tension between Future and Drake. The relationship that was once solid had reportedly become strained due to the differences in their careers, their egos, and possibly even feelings of being underappreciated or overshadowed. Future's lyrics seemed to reflect his frustration with someone who had once been close to him but has since let him down. Metro Boomin's production on We Don't Trust You played a key role in setting the mood for the album. The beats were darker, more intense, and carried a sense of urgency that matched the themes of betrayal and mistrust. Metro has always been known for his ability to create atmospheric, hard-hitting beats that perfectly complement the emotions in the track. On this album, his production choices seemed to amplify the message Future was trying to convey. The beats were grimy, with heavy bass and eerie melodies, creating a backdrop that made the lyrics hit even harder. Metro's involvement in the project was significant because it was clear that his loyalty was with Future. The fact that Metro, who had always worked with Drake in his past, was now a part of an album that seemed to take shots at him, sent a message about where his allegiance lies. One of the most talked about tracks on the album was Snake Eyes, where Future seemed to vent his frustrations about trust and loyalty, and another talked about song is Like That, and I don't need to dive into that. But the lyrics on Snake Eyes talked about being stabbed in the back by someone who was supposed to be a friend. Future's delivery was raw and emotional, making it clear that these weren't just random words, but reflections of real life experiences. Fans and critics speculated that this track was directed at Drake, especially considering the history between these two. The line "You switched up, we don't trust you" became one of the standout moments of the album, fueling further speculation about who Future was referring to. Another track, Silent Treatment, also drew attention for its lyrics about broken communication and feeling abandoned by those who you were close to. Future rapped about how people can disappear when things get tough, leaving you to fend for yourself. This track seemed to resonate with the idea that Drake and Future's relationship had deteriorated, with Future feeling like Drake wasn't there for him when he needed support. Their repeated references to trust painted a picture of someone who had been deeply hurt by betrayal, adding more fuel to the fire of the ongoing rumours about the rift between the two. Metro Boomin's involvement in the album wasn't just limited to production, he was also seen taking a stand by aligning himself with Future during this time. Metro and Future had a long history of successful collaborations, and their bond was very strong. The fact that Metro chose to work on an album that seemed to take jabs at Drake spoke volumes about where his loyalty laid. Metro had worked with Drake in the past, most notably on the hit Jumpman from the album What a Time to Be Alive, but with We Don't Trust You, Metro appeared to be making it clear that his primary allegiance was to Future. The album was as much a statement from Metro as it was from Future, showcasing their unity in the face of whatever had caused the fallout with Drake. While We Don't Trust You never directly named Drake, the timings of its release and the themes it explored made it difficult for fans and the industry insiders to ignore the possibility that Drake was the target. The album's success only added to the conversation, with many praising Future and Metro Boomin for their ability to turn personal struggles and feelings of betrayal into a powerful musical statement. The fact that they managed to create an entire album around these themes without ever directly addressing the situation added a layer of intrigue, making it one of the most talked about projects this year. In the end, We Don't Trust You became a significant chapter in the story of Drake and Future's relationship. It was a reminder of how quickly things can change in the music industry, where friendships are often complicated by fame, money, and ego. The album also highlighted the strengths of the bond between Future and Metro Boomin, who stood together during a time of uncertainty and created something that resonated with fans on a deeper level. Although the exact details of what caused the separation between Drake and Future aren't clear, the album didn't just serve as a message to Drake, but also a statement to the world about where Future and Metro Boomin stood. It was a declaration of independence, showing that they didn't need to rely on anyone else to make great music. It also cemented their partnership as one of the strongest in their industry, capable of weathering storms and coming out stronger on the other side. The story of Drake and Future's relationship is a complex one, marked by highs and lows, collaboration and competition. It serves as a reminder that even the strongest friendships can be tested by the pressures of fame and success. While their fallout is unfortunate, it is also a testament to the challenges that come with navigating the music industry, where personal relationships are often intertwined with business decisions and artistic ambitions. Looking back, it is clear that Drake and Future's partnership left an indelible mark on the hip-hop landscape. Their collaborations from Tony Montana to What a Time to Be Alive had become iconic, influencing a generation of artists and setting the standard for what can be achieved when two great artists come together. Even though their relationship may never return to what it once was, the impact of their work together will be remembered for the years to come. As of now, a collaboration between Drake and Future seems very unlikely because both artists have moved on. They're focusing on their own paths and working with new collaborators. So thank you all so much for watching. Comment down below what you think happened between Drake and Future. So that's going to be all from me. Please subscribe. Have a good day.